This, hey everybody, guess what? It's Tuesday. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. We have Patrick Cassidy here with us from Studio 10. We're here to talk about holidays. But first, I want to talk about the opening. We talked before the opening. Can we just recap? Because I know you've got something to say about that first night opening.
Oh, it exceeded all, and I mean everybody's expectations, and not just the opening, the show itself, but from the moment that morning that we did the ribbon cutting with Mr. Turner himself and the mayor was
Yes.
there, Ken Moore and his wife Linda, as well as our entire board. It was so attended by so many people in Franklin. It was an incredible. The speeches by everyone were right on point. Then we let people in for the very first time that had not seen it, and people were overwhelmed. And then that night before the show, we had a red carpet, welcome to the theater with champagne, and that was again pictures that were taken. Though we have hired a photographer, it was truly like an opening night on Broadway. I mean, it was that kind of feel, and that's what we intended it to be. And then the show itself, I was, yeah, I was beyond pleased. The performers were fantastic. I think the way it was received by the audience, and not just opening night, it led to the entire three-week run, was overwhelming with enthusiasm. People ran out and changed their single tickets to season tickets based on the show itself.
Wow.
A lot of people came back twice, some three times, brought other people. It was I thought the perfect show to open not just a new theater, but to open the season with, because it's such an audience show and it was such a crowd pleaser. So yeah, exceeded all our expectations.
Well, if you missed the show, I was fortunate enough to see it towards the end. It was like kind of audience participation. People were getting out of their seats.
Yeah.
I mean, it was incredible. I've not seen that in a long time.
Yeah, $1 Million Quartet, is the story of that fateful night, December 4th, 1956 at Sun Records in Memphis, when Sam Phillips, who's known as the father of rock and roll, got Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash, Jerry Lee Lewis, and Carl Perkins together for the first and only time. So it's all those songs, and everybody loves those songs. And again, I think it's Tennessee to the heart. It's in Tennessee, and it's what happened that night, and it's dramatized, and the end of the show, I can say it now, are encores. It's like a concert, and each icon gets to do one of his signature songs. And I think, and it builds each one to point that Jerry Lee Lewis is jumping off the piano.
I was going to say Jerry Lee Lewis. Who played Jerry Lee Lewis? I don't have it in front of me right now.
His name is Jefferson McDonald. He's done it many times.
Hilarious.
He was terrific. He was also our musical director too, so he put it together musically. Yeah.
He did a great job. He was definitely one that I feel like in the show you watched a lot, just because you never knew what he was going to do.
Oh yeah, unpredictable. It's a wonderful trait for an actor to have, because you're right, the audience doesn't take their eyes off of you. If you are one of those actors where you don't know what's going to happen next, the audience just was watching every moment to see.
Yeah. Well, thank you for opening the show, the theater. That was amazing. But now the holidays are here, and there's a new show coming up, and it's A Wonderful Life.
Yes, it's called "It's a Wonderful Life, a live radio play," and the reason it's called that is because it's done in a very interesting and unique way. I've seen It's a Wonderful Life, the full stage production of it. I even saw a workshop of a musical of it too. They've been trying to musicalize it for quite some time, but they haven't been successful at it yet. And it's a very hard thing to do this piece, because anybody who knows the movie, you're not going to beat Jimmy Stewart and Donna Reed.
Right.
It's just a classic. But this particular way of presenting it is so magical and so unique that people get caught up in it. And what it is it takes place, I've made Bedford Falls, Franklin. It takes place in Franklin in 1946. It's Christmas Eve night, and we're at our own WAKM radio station. So it's the oldest radio station in Franklin, and we've built this beautiful set to represent WAKM. And as I've said to Tom Lawrence, WAKM has never looked that good. That set is stunning.
Yeah.
So, and what happens is this night, 5 actors go into the studio in front of a live audience, which is the audience, to do a live radio presentation of It's a Wonderful Life. So, and George plays George when he's older and when he's a kid. Mary plays Mary when she's older and when she's a kid. And then the other 3 actors play all of the other roles. So
Wow.
Potter and Uncle Billy and Peter Bailey and Violet and the Angel, every part from the movie. And the actors do all the sound effects, what's called the Foley. So you've got thunder and lightning and cars, and they do it all in front of you. And when the angel says, "You got your wish, George, you've never been born," all of a sudden the whole set changes and it becomes real. I mean, it's the play. I mean, it is the play. But again, like I said, it's done in this very unique way. I mean, you have some actors, the actor that plays Potter plays also Peter Bailey. So when he does both voices and both physicality, he changes. He's talking to himself, and you think you're watching 2 different people speak to each other. It's so magical and so much fun to watch. And the best part of it is it has all the heart of the movie. So you will cry, you will be affected, you will laugh, you will cheer in all the right places. So,
It's such a great story, and also one of the perfect stories to tell at the holidays. It's opening on December 7th, and I just noticed you extended it, so you can even come on Christmas Eve. You can start a new tradition, come and see the show on Christmas Eve.
yeah, we have a matinee that day, and it does very well, because look, people are out of school, kids are out of school, people looking for things to do. Obviously, we know how great the factory is now. And yeah, come see the show. It was the perfect, I think, follow-up to $1 Million Quartet, because it's so about the holidays. It's such a feel-good piece, when you get to realize, as George Bailey does, just how incredible and wonderful his life was. It makes you get misty-eyed. And the actors, oh my gosh, do I have 5 fantastic actors, all from Tennessee. Amazing.
That's incredible. Also, some all very interactive, much like $1 Million Quartet, because you're telling me that all these people are doing these things. Stage is always going to be active with something happening.
Oh yeah. No, I've been doing that all week. We've been in rehearsals all week. The traffic of getting them from the Foley table, and it's 2 levels, right? And it's a play. You're watching the show. It's a Wonderful Life. You're watching it. But again, we have microphones to make it look like they are actually doing it on the radio as well as the audience is watching. And there's applause signs for the audience. And here's the best thing. I forgot this. Because I said it in Franklin on Christmas Eve night, there's all these Franklin-isms that they talk about. We talk about Main Street. We have 2 sponsored jingles. One is for Walton's Jewelers on Main Street. And we do a scene that talks about Walton's, because like it's a commercial break. And now a word from our sponsor.
Yeah.
Walton's Jewelers, and we do a jingle that the actors sing about Walton's that I wrote, and then we do another one for Avec Moi, which is the French boutique gift store right down the street from Walton's, and we do the same thing. We do a scene that goes into a jingle. Both those stores, both the owners, paid a sponsorship to have this. It's an incredible contribution to Studio 10, but we do a real tribute to them and to those stores. And again, we talk about all the things in Franklin in 1946. So it's fun.
Wow. And Walton's, I believe, was actually in Franklin in 1946. Is that correct?
No, they're about to celebrate actually their 50-year anniversary. I believe it's the oldest current business on Main Street. I mean, obviously the Franklin Theater was here before, but there was what was there before? Was it an appliance store? I did all this research from what was in Franklin in 1946. But yes, they're about to celebrate their 50-year anniversary.
Wow, which is incredible these days for any business.
Absolutely, yeah.
Especially a family-owned. Right on Main Street. And, the tree lighting's coming up, and they always put out snow for the tree lighting if anybody's coming on Friday night.
That Walton's does, you're saying?
Yes.
Oh my. Well, if I get out of rehearsal in time, I'm flying over there.
Come to the tree lighting. Okay, they didn't tell me to say that, but the tree lighting is always a great event in downtown Franklin, and Walton's always has their window. All the windows are decorated, which is fun, and then
Mhm.
they always turn on the snow
Oh,
after the.
yeah.
So that's great.
That's the other thing about It's a Wonderful Life. Again, there's whatever there is to do in Franklin during the holidays. This is just to me one of the highlights. To again go over and with your spouse or with your kids, and we're going to have carolers in front of the theater. It's going to be magical in there. It's going to be really festive and holiday Christmas time.
Well, we can't wait to see it. Has it sunk in yet that you're in a new theater? Like has the new feeling worn off yet?
Oh God, no. I mean, it is still. It's such a blessing. It's so beautiful. I actually was making jokes during $1 Million to Go Down. I could sleep in here. I could get if I get a cot and just. I so enjoy being in the theater. It's a magical place. Obviously, long awaited. And yeah, I mean, it has everything. The accessibility to things we didn't have access to before is incredible, and we're still learning about so much more. We're still working on the dressing rooms. There's still so many bells and whistles that are going up. There are many more now in place than there were during $1 Million Quartet, both on the outside and in the inside. So the experience of being there for me or is not going to go away. It's just not. And I think that transfers to the audience too.
Yeah, we definitely felt the energy in the first show. I can't wait to see the holiday show. I love the holidays. I think it's always just a magical time. So I can't wait to see the show. If you guys haven't been, please go check it out. There's not a bad seat. Not a bad seat.
No, when they put it together, when it was Jameson Hall, we actually had a few more seats that we could put in there, but so many of them were restricted view. There were poles and things. There's, as you said, there's not one bad seat in the mezzanine. And it's still that intimate feeling from the size of what it was before. So we have all of that, and the seats are incredibly comfortable, and the sound is great, and the lighting in It's a Wonderful Life is staggering. And I can't really say or describe it because it is magical how it changes from when, like I said, George has never been born. It's really magical.
All right. I hope we have enticed you guys enough to get your tickets and go see it. It opens, like I said, December 7th, runs through the 24th. I know people are asking, what can I do with my family when they come in town? Here's something you can do.
Right. And, as I've said before, and you've been so kind to support Studio Tenn and have me on the show before, Studio Tenn is the resident company for Franklin and Williamson County. We are the only professional theater company here, just like New York and Broadway. And we are doing such great theater and people, I think, and that's why people are coming. But it's the support of everybody that comes to the theater, the people that support Studio Tenn is what is getting us is getting us through. So thankful, I can say.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will see you soon. December 7th, opening at the new Turner Theater. I get to say it's opening at the Turner Theater.
Turner Theater in the factory.
All right. We'll see you soon.